Hello there, everyone. Today is a special day. It's Friday, May the 13th. So Friday the 13th. And we have our special Friday the 13th guest here today. And how you doing there, Mike?
I'm doing good, Mark. Thanks as always for having me on the channel. Today, we decided we were going to talk about a few different things. So maybe a couple of different videos. First one we wanted to talk about was Gary, Indiana real estate market updates. What's going on in the market? What are housing prices doing? What's it looking like? So first thing we're going to talk about is some pretty big news for Gary. Mark, why don't you go ahead and talk about that?
Sure, Mike. Thank you. One thing I found, I check periodically local news around Gary, and I found an article just the other day on the Gary International Airport. It says Gary Chicago International Airport. Gary's airport, from what I've been told, has a longer runway than the O'Hare Airport in Chicago. So it already has a big runway. But what this article says is they finalized the purchase of about 5 acres of land. And that 5 acres of land, the words they used, it was the last piece of the puzzle because last year they bought 19 acres of land. So they have 24 acres of land, and they're going to what it says here, it's going to allow for the extension of runway 2-20, which runs on an approximate axis of northeast to southwest, nearly perpendicular to the airport's main runway. So in my terminology, they're making the airport bigger.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what do you think about that, Mike?
Yeah, so this is impactful for a number of different reasons. Obviously, if they've spent the money to increase the size of the airport, it's because they're anticipating more commercial traffic, more regular airplane traffic. They need more planes to be able to come in, possibly larger planes to be able to come in and land. And how that translates is obviously more people showing up, there's more commerce, more dollars being spent. And on top of that, people have to build the runways. So you're going to have construction projects to build all of the new hangars and the additional sections of the airport, and of course, pour the concrete, the roads, and then there's going to be rezoning of the local area. Some other roads are probably going to have to be torn down and moved. So this is jobs in the Gary area, which means as people come in, so do other jobs, service sector jobs, population growth. The amount of dollars that people have to spend on rental properties. And of course, if they want to purchase homes, we start to increase demand for that area. So that does good things for Gary long term. Other than that good news, which is really good news, the actual Gary market is suffering some of the same things that we're seeing nationwide. So prices softening. I see a lot of price dropped by $10,000, $15,000. People were continuing to ask for very, very high prices due to appreciation that's recently happened in the market. And some people are still trying to catch the top of the market, but it's too late. You missed your opportunity. The top of the market already happened. With interest rates doubling, people cannot afford what they were paying just 3 to 6 months ago. And so prices are coming down all over the place. Now, not a crash, but prices are coming down. Mark, have you seen similar things?
I have seen that because I look at several different markets and I'm seeing the same thing, even locally where I'm at. And all 3 markets are similar. I'm seeing prices up here and there'll be like a line cross through or an arrow going down and it drops $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. And it's happening here in Florida. It's happening in Gary and it's happening in other areas around Gary. So my guess is it's happening all over the country for the most part.
Yeah. And so one of the things that I've noticed is I get all the time, I get DMs on Instagram. People message me on Instagram at Millennial Mike, and they're like, hey, I see that you invest in Gary. What do you think? Interest rates have gone up. My cash flow calculations aren't looking as good as they used to. Should I accept lower cash flow? And I tell them every time, no, this is the moment to hold strong and hold firm. Prices are going to have to come down. You don't want to accept lower cash flow. There's no reason to it. You might have to wait a little bit because psychologically, the people selling their houses haven't wrapped their mind around the fact that they missed the top of the market. They're still hoping for the best. But at the end of the day, those who don't have to sell probably won't. But the ones who do have to sell because of death or divorce or any other reason that forces people to sell, they're going to have to sell and they're not getting any offers. So when you lowball them, a $75,000 house, and you make a $65,000 offer, they're going to have to take it because they have no other option. Do not sacrifice your cash flow. Now is the time to actually hold firm. Mark, what do you think?
Right. I agree 100% with what you're saying. And one thing with Gary, I've said it before on this channel, I think you and I have talked about it. and I know I said this recently, the window for Gary of the great deals, I believe, is past. So if you're out there listening and you say, I want to get one of those killer deals, I want to buy a house for $25,000 in Gary and rent it for $1,000. I'll say good luck, because I think that those great deals are past. With that being said, that you can still find very good deals in Gary. You can find it in your local market. If you live in California, you can find it there. If you live in Seattle, you can find it there. You can find it here in Florida. You can find very good deals everywhere. And you may not find them today, but over the next 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 months, you will, just like Mike said, you can make lowball offers and you're going to get some of them accepted. It should get easier than it has been for the last year to 18 months to 2 years. That's kind of what I think. So that's kind of all I got to say on Gary, unless you got something else to add, Mike.
No, I think that's a good spot to end it. The price of a house, you may sit there and look at yourself and say, well, this $75,000 cost for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath is a great deal. It was a great deal 6 months ago. Because of interest rates, it wiped out another $150 worth of cash flow. It's no longer a great deal. The only way to make that a great deal is to either sell or finance it at a better interest rate, or offer less money. $75,000 needs to come down to $60,000 or $65,000. Run your own numbers. That's how you make it a great deal. So don't sacrifice just because it used to be, it's not anymore. Wrap your head around that and make sure the sellers don't get lucky and catch the top of the market late when they shouldn't be. This is your chance as a buyer. You're finally getting a chance. Take advantage of it. Anyways, that's the end of this video. We're going to talk about another video next. We're going to be talking about the biggest financial mistakes that Mark made in his youth and that I made in my youth. So stick around for that next video, and we'll see you there.